Good morning, Granville students, or good afternoon or good evening. I guess it depends on when you're watching this video. Today I'm going to show you another optic art lesson. This is an optical illusion of a hole in my paper. And to get started, you will need a pencil and some kind of a dark marker. It doesn't have to be black. If you have a thick marker or a fat marker, it will make the work a lot quicker. And you don't have to have a ruler. If you want to make a straight edge out of a piece of junk mail or something like that, you can, but I just freehanded this. I just was careful and tried to draw my line straight, and it turned out okay. So that's what you're going to end up with. Step one is to draw a square on your paper with a pencil, and I just freehanded it. If you just draw lightly and then if it's not quite right, you can erase it, or you can use a straight edge if you want it to be perfect. And then the second step is to draw this line with a pencil, diagonal from the top right corner to the bottom left, or vice versa. The third step is to draw straight lines from that slanted line all the way to the edges. And this diagonal line should be with a pencil, because that's going to end up being where your shading stops and starts. So I'm just drawing straight lines from that diagonal line to the edge of the square. And you need to have at least about 5 or 6 lines in here, so don't get them too far apart. And then it would go like this on the other side, just starting with connecting with this one. Just draw as straight as you can all the way to the edge of the paper from the diagonal, and fill up your sheet like that. I hope you can see this, because I know the pencil doesn't show up very well. That one's crooked a little bit. Anyway, you get the idea. Fill up the whole square like this. Maybe one more set. I hope you can see how that looks. Then the next step is to color every other stripe solid. And if you don't have black, just use whatever dark color you have and it will turn out okay. And this might take you a few minutes, so as you do this part, you may need to pause the video. So I colored in every other stripe black. And even if you don't have markers, you could do this with colored pencils and just take your darkest one and do every other stripe and fill it in solid. And you can start to see this illusion of a hole in my paper already. So just fill those in solid. Then the last step is to shade, starting at the bottom left where that line is. Start shading, and the darkest part is at the bottom, because this looks like where the deepest part of the hole is. So shade along that line. Darkest part is here, so press down hard, and then medium, and then light. So here's your medium shade, because this is creating the illusion that the hole is opening up and the light is hitting it more at the top. So again, you're tricking your eye into thinking that this is a hole in the paper. So that's lightly shaded, and there you have it. It's the illusion of a hole in the paper. And so as you can see, if I turn it a different way, it doesn't necessarily look right. This would almost look like a hole in the ceiling maybe, but turn it the right way and it looks right. And for some reason, if you look at this from further away, or if you look at it through your camera on your smartphone, the illusion is even more emphasized. And I don't know why that is, but I think with the camera just doesn't understand the frame of reference. So it looks more real. It looks more like a hole in the paper if you look at it through your camera lens. So I hope you'll try this. And I chose this one. I had looked at some other optical illusions. Like this one is a round hole in the paper, and I looked at this on YouTube, and it just wasn't as easy, and it just doesn't look right. I think I didn't get the angle of these lines exactly right to create the illusion of a hole in the paper. But I thought this one was easier with the square. And I also did this other illusion with a ladder. And obviously this is a flat sheet of paper, and this is a ladder, and this is theoretically the shadow of the ladder. And if you turn it this way, it kind of starts to look like it's actually a 3D ladder leaning up against the paper. So anyway, this is the one we did today. And if you do this, please take a picture of your work with your phone or whatever you can, and then email it to me at heath@cusslight.org, or you can upload it on Class Dojo. Love to see your work. Thanks for listening.